Alright. As mentioned, let's go on to the home planet of Blarg, or whatever is left of it, technically. A lovely green ball called Orxon. And because the air is super toxic, and we don't really have an oxygen, breathing mask or anything, only Clank can actually, roam around for the time being. Yeah.
Not to be confused with Gasmoxia.
Might as well be.
You know, given how much Naughty Dog and Insomniac like to fraternize, I'm betting that if they still had the rights to their respective PlayStation series, Gasmoxia totally would have been a planet in this game.
Well, obviously, but remember, Jova, it's more of a case of the galaxies, the way the universe in Ratchet and Clank is constructed. There are basically a fuck ton of galaxies, each of them with a lot of respective planets that are inhabited. So the limit is literally your imagination. You could literally have anything. This is what I mean when I said that, potentially Jack and Dexter could be in the same continuity because it could literally just be a random planet there. Well, and that was the case until Rift Apart, as Pedro mentioned. Now we know
Yeah,
that
now
it's
with Rift Apart.
a different dimension,
Also,
as it's the one from Neck, apparently.
well, to be fair, I'm actually okay with that. But also, Jova.
Enter command to send
Hold
them
on.
into the
Yes.
portal.
Okay, I just wanted to. Also, Jova, don't worry. Right now, Spyro is traveling in the PS5 mothership with Astro and all the other bots. So
Yeah, that's the thing. Unlike all the other Astrobots, that's actually Spyro and Astrobot.
well, they also have they also have
Same for the jumping flash protagonist. I forgot the name.
yeah,
And they have,
the-
they have Gex as well.
Oh
According
yeah,
to
the recent update with the Winter Wonder level added Gex. That is
Mind
correct.
you, Dweebs,
As well as Croc.
That
as well.
those two are actually bots with a disguise. Joe was referring to an actual character because of model limitations.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I was gonna say, Gex would be like, ha ha, guess what, Cloud? I got in here before you, and most people don't even know I'm owned by Square Enix.
But okay.
Well, okay,
that's-
actually,
that is totally a joke Gex himself would make.
Actually, Tail, this just brings up a good point too. At least now we technically have Square Enix representation in Astrobot, I guess.
Well, to be fair, okay, no, I was going to say Legacy of Kain, but that one is technically Bracer Group right now. So I guess not.
Yeah, how about Gex in Kingdom Hearts 4?
Especially because sorry, go on.
In regards to the Spyro thing, though, from what Balance told me, the reason that that's the actual Spyro, not an Astrobot, could potentially be tied to some Skylanders lore with the whole coming in through different worlds and different rift gates and all that.
Or again,
what design is Spyro in
Reignited
Astrobot?
Trilogy 1.
Yes,
Yeah.
Reignited Trilogy. However, since it's Toys for Bob, they did make sure to have Skylanders references.
In fact, let me see if I can get the.
Like I said, boys.
Toys for Bob are an indie company now, so...
Like I said, boys, just probably out of logistical reasoning for the model because of being quadrupedal, even the one from even the one for Amaterasu, for example, or the Pomeranian from Tokyo Jungle, are not actually bots in disguise. So.
Yeah, I was just checking here. Yeah, and all of the game publication sites still are saying the exact same thing. Astrobot finally gets a Square Enix character, but it's not Final Fantasy, it's Gex.
It is an easy way to make a clickbait article, sadly. So.
I mean, and hey, I'm honestly fine with it. Like, part of the point of Astrobot was to do the scribbles. Although I do find it weird, seeing as how Astro's Playroom did have at least the Buster.
Well, remember, Jova, it's a matter of money of negotiation, and Square is much like in the days 10 years ago with PlayStation All Stars Battle Royale. Square Enix demanded a hefty sum of money for the participation, which in turn, as I mentioned a couple of times in and out commentary, makes me really wonder how much Nintendo did pay for the representation in Smash Bros.
Oh, we do know that we almost didn't get it. Ergo, Square
It was already a
wanted
problem
their
with the
characters
music,
to be
as
DLC.
Sakurai himself told when Sephiroth was released. So
Also,
Honestly,
go on.
Honestly, that was something I always expected, though. Like, as a deal for getting Cloud in, Sephiroth would be the DLC, ergo, that would also be how we get the new music. Now, one wonders what Sakurai will have to make a deal with them on for the next Smash game if he tries to get them back again.
or a
Here's what you-
There you go.
You'll like this, Dibs, because basically you always get some kind of cool message with each bot, just like you did for the stuff you found in Astro's Playroom. When you get Gex, Gex's description is his actual name is Squared-Eyed Gecko, and it says takes channel hopping a little too literally.
For those who haven't played the games, that's basically what he does.
Yeah,
He's
and
battling.
his accessory, because every special bot has an accessory you get for them. For Gex, you get the TV Addict Essentials, and it says comes with a lifetime subscription to the media dimension.
Yeah.
Funny. Although, I think Gex doesn't have a voice in Astrobot.
No,
No.
and probably for the better, because I know it will cause, even more unnecessary debate between, America and England towards which BA is the better one.
I'm biased but British.
And Gervais, for his part, I know.
Here you go. As you
Wait,
can see, for that,
I never even said which one I prefer because I'll admit I don't really remember either voice much.
I just people who don't know can Google Image is your friend. Just check it out. As you can see there, Dwebs, you can see for the outfit. It's a bot disguised as Gex.
Same goes for Croc.
That's pretty much for most of them. But yeah, Croc was actually a bigger surprise for me because Gex still gets, talked about and memed about. Croc is a much more...
I can imagine it's because of remember, the entire reason Croc even is coming back by the time we're recording is because the people behind Argonaut Software managed to get enough money to actually resurrect the company from the dead, which is kinda unprecedented, and actually keep the IP holding, So they are in good, and they were in good terms with PlayStation. A bit similar with what happened with Tombi.
It liquidated in 2004 and officially stopped existing in 2007. They literally only relaunched at the time of recording 3 months ago.
Again, it's similar to what happened with Tombi. It was the owner of the IP who probably in this case either contacted, the owner contacted the Team Asobi or the other way around, and they reached a much more easy deal than, calling to a big company like Konami or Square. Anyway, we found what we were looking for, the magnet boots. Get it, boob joke. Haha.
These Magna Boots are a device designed for climbing.
I do like how we're kind of in an era of pseudo-revival for cartoony platformer folks, and hey, now that a platformer actually won Game of the Year, maybe this will encourage other companies to give it more of a try.
But to be fair, Jova, most of the big ones actually have happened, including fucking Bubsy for some reason.
Okay.
Thanks,
The sad thing is that Bubsy came back even before the pseudo-revival because people constantly think, hey, we're gonna be the company that manages to actually make money off of Bubsy. Like, okay, Bubsy is like the video game equivalent to Morbius, the film, essentially.
Yeah.
Companies think, oh, just because it gets memed a lot, that automatically means it'll be a success, only to give a surprise Pikachu face when, surprise, surprise, people don't want to support Bubsy. Now, okay, to be fair, if the games were good, maybe, but no, okay, I'll be fair.
Woolly Strikes Back.
Yes. Woolly Strike Back was not a bad game, but it was nothing to write home about, essentially.
What about Paws on Fire?
Again, it's kind of the same process. You have to remember that the Chinese people who have Warnow Skin Walking with accolades, brand, have basically subcontracted a couple of indie developers to do those games. When it came to the Woolly Strikes Back, it was the developers of the Jana Sister modern game, which meant a decently competent level of making a 3D platform, 2D you know, not 2D HD, but 2.5D platforming. When it came to Puzzle on Fire, it was from the people who did Beat Trip Runner, and they are actually perfectly capable of doing that kind of game. It's just that at that point, the Bubsy craze of revival had kind of already passed on, so there were far less people caring. As a result, the game was not as talked about it or reviewed as the Woody Strikes Back did when it came out. So
Not only that,
right
but
now,
pause on-
thankfully, Bubsy is once again a bit on pause, and hopefully it will stay there for a longer time.
Well, I mean, there is that re-release compilation coming out.
Well, that you have to thank
Limited run games.
Limited run games for that.
Because I've got Bubsy 3D on its original PlayStation disc physically. Although at this point, is it just better to just do the games through?
Yeah, because remember,
Probably.
the collection is going to have a rewind ability, which is going to make the games far, far less painful to play.
I
But,
forget, did they mention that they're including the Atari Jaguar?
Haven't mentioned yet, and in true limited run games tradition, they are on radio silence until the game comes, almost literally to the point where the game comes out. Kind of what happened with the Plumbers Don't Wear Ties re-release.
Of course.
Anyway, to go back a bit on the subject of the other, more smaller platformer, Chrome Studios right now is actually handling relatively well the situation with Tasmanian Tiger, but they have mentioned that if they want to make a proper Type 5, because the 4 happened, but a 5th game that is kind of on the same kind of scale that 2 and 3 were, they will need a bigger budget that right now they probably don't have. So it's gonna be a while before we see that, unless they're willing to, subcontract the IP to another company or something like that. Because if anyone forget, the first couple of Tasmanian Tiger games were published by EA of all things. But recently, wisely, Chrome Studios decided to actually keep the IP for themselves.
I don't know if Australia has a national lottery of their own, but maybe if they got lucky about that.
That's I wouldn't bet again, Waves. But even Konami has stopped betting its future on gambling recently, so I don't know. But anyway, again, this next section, interesting enough for the section of this planet, after you get what you were looking for, you still have kind of a way of a track instead of going immediately back to the ship. Interesting enough, it's actually one of the longer segments with Clank. It's not the last, so don't worry, but even in other games you never get segments that were this long. I mean, I wonder if there was some level of, not Q&A testing, but, pondering from developers how long they should be, and they thought the feedback for this first game was that they were too long. Anyway, before collecting the holobots, let me just, here you go.
I actually really like the Clank sections in Ripped Apart because they're much more puzzle oriented, like even more than this. I mean,
Better not let Ratchet see this one.
Okay, it's for Pokitaru. For those who don't, well, you'll be able to see eventually when Ratchet sees it, but it's basically a beach resort kind of planet, so, I do wonder what Clank has seen.
I mean, funnily enough, I knew what was coming, but I do find it funny how you're pretty much upfront with the point that, yes, Ratchet's going to see it.
But I do remember also at least the sections in A Crank in Time also were more heavy focused on the puzzle, include both on his own with Clank and with the added time mechanics. Anyway, let's give to Ratchet both the magnet boost and then the Autobot.
Metal filings, dust.
You know what I mean. What is it?
I will show you this, but you must promise to stay focused on our mission.
Is it something about Quark?
Cities are full of smog, swamps are full of muck, and tar pits are full of tar. But here at Joe I Resort, the sun shines 24 hours a day. Visitors get a free O2 mask to explore our warm waters. The benign marine life will welcome you to the big blue world under the sea. You can also use our complimentary flippers to partake in speed swimming. So come to Joe I Resort and leave your world and your troubles.
Sounds like he's about to burst out laughing at any moment.
Dry Resort. Pokitaru.
I knew it.
Oh, come on. Switch off your nerd circuits and have some fun. Look, we'll go just long enough to pick up the O2 mask.
Perhaps the extra oxygen will help your brain to function properly.
Yeah, and maybe the salt water will rust your mouth shut.
Ha!
All right.
Anyway,
Joe I Resort Pokitaro.
I think we're gonna go very next part. First, we need to actually... also, wait, did I just got this cutscene? Ratchet, what are you doing up there?
Oh dear.
Deck 9!
Oh no!
Ratchet, no!
I see that this has been a problem since the beginning, isn't it? Okay, for the record,
The most
okay.
egregious glitch we're gonna get in Deadlock to / Gladiator, so don't worry about that.
Alright, well, actually, we're about to get a cutscene, aren't we?
No, we're just, going to continue the mission in Batalia.
Alright.
Go on.
Alright. So, see the fun thing, when Deck 9's Life is Strange Remastered Collection came out, it came out broken as fuck, as I demonstrated in our extras a while before the Storm commentary. And from what I've heard, apparently True Colors also came out with quite a few bugs, but it's been patched since then, and I never got to try out the unpatched version. And when I recently went through Double Exposure, and that game also came out, and I got that game still relatively early, all things only 1 month later. And yeah, it has quite a lot of bugs, and I find myself even a bug where when I got to manage to have Max have a secondary power of flight and everything. I even showed it to my co-commentators. They can testify what I'm saying. But yeah, so I can tell that Deck 9 has always had problems with polishing their games.
Anyway, the magnet boots thankfully have one of those gadgets that get equipped automatically, similar to the grind boots. The trade-off is that your abilities lower and obviously cannot jump. Later games will try to, make the process a bit more smooth. So again, a bit more, fairly installment weirdness. Alright, as told by the commander, now it's time to properly, free the fort.
Free the fort, free the fort, free the fort.
Free the fort. That's what the recess guy actually yelled before they tried to free Fort Tender.
Yeah.
Seriously. Now, hold on, I got a bit. Fort. That's like the most awesomely lame name I've ever heard.
Also, two different Blarg tanks at the same time, and I have no rockets left in the rocket launcher bag. There you go.
You see it, Web. That's not right.
No, gone.
You see it, Webs. I've heard of this strange new game that's spread all over research. The game called a bingo. Oh, a Jim. That's right, a Jimbo.
A Jimbo.
So I've heard, and everybody threw everything, all the video games, all the balls, and all to play this stupid card game. I only have one question, Webs. Can I play?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, but basically, Jimbo is basically the
a parody of the trading card games, basically.
and how dangerously addictive they can be.
Look, the plumber's back.
There's the plumber again. In this case, he was contracted to fix one of the turrets, apparently.
This planet's useless air defenses.
Well, I think you'd better hurry up.
The turret works fine, you little yahoo. It's the locals. They haven't got the skilled manpower to use it.
I'm a pretty good shot.
You?
Also, Mister, did you just call me a search website?
Keeping up a turret if nobody's gonna use it. Besides, the Blarg chased you off the last planet.
Why would you
Why don't
call
we pay him
someone a
back?
bing?
Well, all right.
Well, is it
go
call him a
on,
Yahoo?
go on.
That was
Don't
my joke.
break anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah. Imagine if, that could be a month. Imagine if people started using search engines as insults on a more regular
It's interesting.
basis.
Don't give M. Night Shyamalan ideas, Libs.
It's interesting because Yahoo is actually one of the first ever search engines on the internet. I don't know if it was still already around by 2002, but it was definitely one of the early ones.
Anyway, early 2000 platformer, so you know what that means. Turret section.
Obviously.
I don't think it's really that bad. Again, focus on the big targets, and occasionally you get a missile thrown at you that you have to deal with, which is, indicated by the red.
Well,
at the gun.
well, as long as it's not like in Lost Impact from Shadow the Hedgehog, I'll be okay. The artificial chaos mission, in case you don't know what that is. The infamous, the overall unanimously agreed upon to be the worst level in that game, and yeah, for good reason.
I don't even think I actually got there in the path that I chose during the time that I actually played for myself.
Well, good. Although when we do that game, we kind of have to show it because it basically begs to be ripped a new one.
Yeah, you also have a bit of a radar that tells you when a missile is coming, so even if you don't see it on screen, it's actually pointed there.
So, 2002, a platformer game, a collectible platformer has a turret section.
It was a trend at the time, Dubs, like Theo said.
What other 2002 collectible had a...
Okay, don't remember what year was released the Haven Call of the King. Forgot. The game.
I do not know.
I was referring to Enter the Dragonfly, but...
Oh, sure.
Well, see you around sometime.
Anyway, you get another gadget that I argue it's not super useful. It's literally a metal detector that nets you extra balls if you go around on the ground. You literally get better results spending less time by replaying levels and killing the enemies. Notably, this really didn't came back.
2002, yeah, that's the answer.
Okay, well, it's also around the same time, and that game is kind of infamous for its turret sections, unfortunately. Again, it's a cute idea, but, it's not really worth the time that you invest and the amount of bolts that you acquire as a result. So you will not see me using that much, and like I said, it will not come back in future games.
I'm fine with that. It's one of those things that was neat for this game, but you can tell how future games with better pacing didn't really have much need for it. Which, honestly, I feel like almost every video game series has, that one thing that literally will only show up in the first game and never again.
Alright, with this being done, we have completed properly Batalia, so next up, if I remember correctly, we will actually visit the planet that we got the Holovid for in this part. That means Pokitaru, meaning that we get to actually get that oxygen mask that, was present in the cutscene, which obviously would be useful not only for the underwater section, but also for the Blarg home planet. So see you for that.
See ya.
Bye.